Good evening, everyone. This is Chris on IMTM Worldwide Radio, and this is around the ATL Side Notes. We are going to be reviewing Game 77 of the 2023 Atlanta Hawks season against the Dallas Mavericks in this particular case. But before we get started, if you've never watched Around the ATL, by the way, it's Friday night. There's a rooftop right next to me, so hopefully their music won't interject too much. Again, it's one of the reasons why I'm not able to do shows on particular times, but at the end of the day, this is when I was available, so I'm doing a show. But hopefully they don't interfere too much over there. If you've never watched Around the ATL, we have two versions. We have Around the ATL, which is a 2-hour show that we segment all the sports in Atlanta and Georgia. So we're talking Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Falcons, the Dream, United, everybody. Atlanta Vibe, the new volleyball team. We also do college sports. So we're talking UGA, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Albany State, Clark, everybody. We sometimes get a chance to do some high school football as well. Around the ATL Side Notes is a topic show where I'm just breaking down one particular item. Now time frame, it varies. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 2.5 hours. It just kind of depends. But I've done that because we're not able to do our regular show right now. My co-host Jordan Jackson, both of our schedules have just been really crazy over the last half a year, really. Some of it's health related per me. Both of us has been work. But most recently, as I mentioned on the show earlier this week, Jordan Jackson found out his mom has cancer. So he's taking care of family right now. So definitely keep your thoughts with him and his family in that regard. Please, I want to, let's see if I can do it here. Did I pull it? No, I didn't. So let's pull it from another page. Want to give a quick shout out. Oh, I got to come all the way up here. Quick shout out to a couple of pages that might tune in tonight. I need to post on Twitter one more time too. Atlanta Hawks Nation, True Hawks Talk, Atlanta Hawks Die Hard Fanatics, Atlanta Hawks and Atlanta Hawks. Oh wow, see. Oh, there it is. We Talk Hawks TV Home Court. Also the basketball page that's on Facebook. I posted all over there. Also on Twitter, my personal Facebook pages as well, IMTM Worldwide Radio. If you have not done so yet, definitely follow IMTM Worldwide Radio on Facebook or Instagram. So if you're a member of those pages, you can follow along there. You can also follow on Twitter, Intellect ATL and Jordan23 ATL. I'll try to scroll that every blue moon. And of course, tonight's show is brought to you by, I thought I was going to bring a flyer up here. I didn't. I have some new flyers for IMTM Worldwide Images. You can see my backdrop in the back. I do photography, so if you need photos, you know someone in the world that needs photos, IMTMWorldwideImages.com or IMTM Worldwide Images 1 on Instagram. So if you know someone who's tired of waiting for photos, it's 2024 and 4 months away from being 2025, and they've been talking since January about getting a photo shoot, and they still don't have no photos, they might want to hit me up. Just saying, right? All right, let's get started. So today we're talking, one more thing. Someone commented, I hadn't had a chance to go through all of them, but someone did watch the most recent show this week, which was talking about Clint Capella and Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. And they mentioned, well, I need to get my facts straight because the Hawks have had an all-star. That's DeJounte Murray. And I'm like, no, that's not correct. DeJounte Murray wasn't an all-star with the Atlanta Hawks. 2 years, well, I guess almost 3 years ago now, he was an all-star with the San Antonio Spurs. When Dominique Wilkins won his championship over in Greece, was that an Atlanta Hawks championship or a Greece championship? When Al Horford won his championship with the Boston Celtics recently, was that Atlanta Hawk championship or was that with the Boston Celtics? If Matt Ryan had went to Indianapolis a couple years ago and won a Super Bowl, would that have been an Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl or Indianapolis Super Bowl? The statement was Trae Young has not had a Hawk as an all-star along with him since he's been in Atlanta for these past 6 years. That is true. If I had made the statement Trae Young has played alongside a couple of all-star caliber players, then that would be true. Then you can mesh DJ in there a little bit. You can put John Collins in there, putting up all-star numbers. He should have made an all-star team at 19 and 9 and 21 and 10, but he didn't. Okay. Trae Young is the only one who's made an all-star team with the Atlanta Hawks the last 6 seasons. That is true. He's the only one who's been on an all-NBA team as an Atlanta Hawk in the last 6 years. That is true. There are no Hawks first, second team, all defensive team, and no defensive player of the year in the last 6 years. That is true. Clint Capella has had some defensive player of the year votes in 2020, 4 years ago. That is true. So if you want to talk about facts, get your own facts straight, please. Okay? This is not the Matrix. Again, you can't just make up stuff that ain't true. Okay? I'm very vocal about that. So I wanted to make sure I got that out before I got started on tonight's show. So let's switch over to Dallas. Here we go. So this review that I do on the Atlanta Hawks 2023 season started with the play-in game, Chicago Bulls, and I've been going since then backwards, okay? And what I do is review shot for shot what actually happened in the game from the opposing team's perspective as far as who's hitting shots and who's giving up those shots. And each game, I go through the top 3 scorers on the other team, what the Atlanta Hawks did individually, each player. I go through points in the paint, second chance points, fast break points, and 3-pointers, okay? And then I reviewed the actual game visually, okay? So you can see for yourself what actually happened. Not what had happened was or what you think happened. Here's what actually happened in this possession. Here's why those 2 points or that 3-pointer was made, okay? So game 77 was against the Dallas Mavericks. Score was 109-95. It was a 14-point loss. Now, in this game, the Hawks actually trimmed what was a 17-point lead that the Dallas Mavericks had in the third quarter going into the fourth, but then they couldn't score all of a sudden. And again, Mavericks just kept on scoring, mostly threes. This is a game that they hit 18 of those suckers, but I'll get into that in a little bit. The record of the Atlanta Hawks at this point was 36-41. Again, as I've mentioned, there's a stretch where if the Hawks actually had a good stretch going to the end of the season, the Hawks would have had home court for the play-in game. Remember, while Trae and Bey and Okongwu and Jalen Johnson were out for a portion of the last part of the season, the Atlanta Hawks didn't move up in standings. The 28 games that Trae missed, we didn't move up in standings. Okay? But the last 2 weeks of the season or so, we could have at least gotten home court. You never know when you have home court for one game, right? A game that Hunter only scored 8 points and got 2 rebounds in, while the rest of the starting lineup got 20 apiece or more. But y'all don't care about that, though, right? Anyway, so again, Dallas won 109-95. And actually, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Bear with me here. All right. So Dallas had 34 points in the paint in this game, which in this case isn't bad. That's actually pretty decent because the Atlanta Hawks, 25th in the NBA in points in the paint given up. They averaged 53 points in the paint every game or more. Lots of times, a lot more. But they only gave up 34 points in the paint. So just by that, you would think they would have a chance. They did give up 16 second chance points, though. That's bad. They gave up 19 points on the fast break. That's bad. The Hawks are 28th in fast break points in 2023. Also, just as a reminder, they're 26 in blocks. All right. Now, Dallas only shot 36% from 3. So it wasn't like they were shooting 53% like some teams. 36 is, all right. But they hit 18 of them, though. That's bad. Can't win like that. All right. So the top three scorers of this game was Luka, 25 points. Kyrie had 26, and PJ had 19. So for the Hawks, and again, what I'm going to be doing in this particular episode is talking about mostly getting back on defense, locking out. I must have deleted the rest of them. Oh, no, I didn't. Know where your man is. Staying attached to your man. Communication. Getting back on defense. Over helping. All right. So for the Hawks, what did the Hawks do in this game? So Hunter was 3 for 10 in this game. He was 2 of 7 from 3 for 13 points. He had 3 rebounds and 1 steal. JJ had an awful shooting night. He was 3 for 13. He had 6 points in this game. He did have 16 rebounds, though. Now, if you saw the show earlier this week, I talked about, okay, let's talk rebounds. Do rebounds make a difference in wins or losses? So, again, I would say go and watch that particular episode. It's titled Around the ATL Side Notes, Clint Capella and Trae Young. Go watch that show. Clint in this game was 3 of 7 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. He had 6 points in this game. Not good. Okay. He did have 13 rebounds. He had 5 offensive. He had 8 defensive rebounds, which is good. He had 1 block, but he had 5 turnovers too. So for him to have 6 points, 5 turnovers, that's not a good game, y'all. Especially who we were playing on the opposite end as far as bigs. We needed a little bit more than 6 points. Bogey was 6 for 15 from the floor, 3 of 10 from 3, 17 points. He had 7 rebounds, though. DJ was 6 of 17 from the floor, 3 of 9 from 3, for 16 points. He had 3 assists. Garrison was 5 of 6 from the floor, 3 of 3 from 3 at 14 points. Vitt was 1 for 2 for 4 points. Bruno 3 for 6 for 10. Kobe 4 for 8 for 9. West did not score. All right. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube page. Please do that. I appreciate that. What was that? One thing before I get into the game, sometimes you don't give up. One thing I'm going to talk about is the giving up of points. Who's giving up points? And sometimes you don't give up points based off of who you're playing, the matchups, right? Like, it's hard to give up a lot of points if your assignment doesn't shoot a lot in the game, right? Or you're not targeted, because people always talk about targeting, right? So you're going to see a little bit of that in this game. They saw something and they took advantage of it a heck of a lot. And you're going to see that as I go through the game. So now let's switch over to the video. Let's get this queued up a little bit. Wow, did I really? I'm just now noticing what I did. So hopefully I'll remember and not mess up. So I actually did it bottom to top instead of top to bottom as far as the order of these videos. But I'm just now noticing that. But it's all good. I'll get it right. So first quarter of this Dallas Mavericks game. Okay. And again, I just kind of posted it earlier. One of the things I talk about is stopping the ball on fast breaks. When you have a fast break, one of the fundamentals of a fast break is somebody got to stop the ball. Somebody has to stop the advancement of the ball handler all the way up the court. The Hawks are horrible at that, which is why they're 28th in fast break points given up. Where's my water? It's way over there. The other thing I'll talk about is staying attached with your man to prevent fast breaks in the first place. There's a principle in there. Pay attention to what's going on. The moment you're lackadaisical, something bad happens. We're 28th in fast break points. You just don't know how frustrating it is that nobody cares about these things. And it's a whole team issue. We would win so many more games if we weren't at the bottom of the league and just fast break points given up. We gave up 19 in this game. That's 19 points. We lost the game by 14 points, people. Right? Again, I'm going to talk about blocking out. I'm going to talk about using your peripheral vision instead of having your whole body turn, looking, ball watching. We'll talk about that. Fighting through screens, calling out the screens in the first place. Hedging on screens to not allow a screen to even be made. That's kind of a big deal in basketball. You can avoid that, you don't have to let them do it to you. Okay, I'm going to talk about that. Stop over helping. I'm going to talk about that a lot tonight in this particular episode. And of course, rotating. All right. So off of a turnover, this is first shot of the first quarter. Clint turns the ball over. Kyrie takes the ball. He runs all the way up the court. Nobody stops Kyrie, and he takes it to the hoop on Bogey.
It's like, where you guys been? Loose ball after the miss by Jalen Johnson. In transition, Kyrie accelerates against Bogdanovic. The Rams are kind that time as Kyrie Irving goes right at the defense and scores.
I want to show you something. I'm going to play this again. Watch Hunter.
It's like, where you guys been? Loose ball after the miss by Jalen Johnson. In transition, Kyrie accelerates against Bogdanovic. The Rams are kind that time as Kyrie Irving goes right at the defense and scores.
Explain to me his effort coming up the court. What's the excuse that y'all want to give me that Hunter couldn't step up and do his job better, get up the court, get in front of Kyrie and stop the ball? Or at the rim, at the very least, get the block. Because Bogey wasn't going to stop him. We all know that. This is the first shot of the game. But what was Hunter doing? Y'all don't care about this because this is every game. And y'all don't care about Hunter not doing his job. That's confusing to me. Second shot of the first quarter. JJ is ball watching in this case. He's not on his man. In this possession, Clint actually plays the big correctly on this one. I don't know why JJ left his man even more so, but the moment he did, Luka had an open pass to Washington for a wide open three.
Yeah, Hunter's averaging almost 18 points a game over the last 11. Here's P.J. Washington. Let's a rip on a three off the kick out from Luka.
Just as a reminder, the Dallas Mavericks hit 18 threes in this game. Do the math of that, and the Hawks lost this game by 14 points. Keep that in mind. All right. That was the second shot of the game. Third shot of the first quarter. Unfortunately, Clint overhelps on this one, on the ball handler. Clint was never looking at his man. He was going to go towards Kyrie no matter what. So, of course, guess what that does? It creates a mismatch. Gafford gets the ball. JJ now has to play the help defender. Here's the problem. We don't rotate well, if at all. And we don't do help defense well. You'll see that during this show. But that leaves Washington open for what? Another three-pointer. By the way, Bogey is standing there putting his hands up like he wasn't supposed to rotate, which I just said we don't know how to rotate. Here's shot three of the first quarter.
Coach and him went at it on the bench the other day. They hugged it out, but he's a big part of what they do.
Another corner three for Washington and another one on the money.
That's one of the best things to see going into the postseason. He's got to knock down shots.
Remember, PJ is one of those trades that Dallas made. But anyway, I'm gonna play that again. Watch Bogey. Watch everything in this possession.
Coach and him went at it on the bench the other day. They hugged it out, but he's a big part of what they do.
Another corner three for Washington and another one on the money.
That's one of the best things to see going into the postseason. He's got to knock down shots.
This is why I continue to say we need a bench coach that knows defense. And we need a big man coach. If we could get that, we would win more games because people would have to stop doing what they're doing because there are no adjustments. As you watch all this, what I'm going to show you tonight, tell me when there was adjustment made. The team hit 18 shots. By the way, this Dallas game, the Denver game, that's right after this, I've already published, and the Heat game right after that, The Atlanta Hawks gave up 18 threes, 23 threes, and 18 threes in 3 straight games, and nobody cares about that. So for some, those are all 3 losses. Shot number 4. Again, we need a big man coach. I just showed you why in the previous shot. But here's another example. Vit has Washington in this case. DJ has Kyrie. Bruno has Kleber. PJ sets a screen on DJ to get Kyrie open. You know, I always talk about being able to set a screen, not just for shots, but to get men open. But we don't do that. Kyrie gets the ball and starts to drive. Vit is the help defender, but instead, Bruno leaves his man, and Kyrie simply passes back to a wide open Kleber, who does what? Hit a wide open 3. Now, just to reiterate, Vit was the help defender. DJ would have had to stay with Washington at worst. Hunter was also there as a help defender. So Bruno, for whatever reason, for him to completely leave his man, it's not necessary. Now, fortunately, Bruno ain't here no more. Sorry, we couldn't keep Bruno and Clint and give up all these points again another season, which is why Clint needs to come off the bench, which I talked about in my previous show. Go watch it. It's called Around the ATL Side Notes, Clint Capella and Trae Young. But here's shot number 4.
Right on the other side of the floor.
Oh, yeah, right there where the ball just went inbounds. Here's Kleber again for 3. Knocks it down.
I'm going to show you that again. Look what Bruno does. And look at everything behind Bruno.
Right on the other side of the floor.
Oh, yeah, right there where the ball just went inbounds. Here's Kleber again for 3. Knocks it down.
You saw Vit as the help defender, and even if he had gotten past Vit, Hunter, if he did his job, would have been another help defender to prevent all the way going into the rim. But Bruno left his man completely. And Kyrie just had a simple pass to go to Kleber, and they hit another 3. This is in the first quarter, by the way. Shot number 5. This is a fast break. Ask me. I'm going to ask you. My bad. What is Vit doing? Garrison picks up Kyrie. Kyrie shoots a 3. What is Hunter doing? He was the only one under the basket. Off a miss, instead of going for the ball, he starts to do it, and then he stops. Vit also stops. And so Kyrie has a wide open 3. In this particular possession, I'm going to give this one to Garrison for leaving his man. But you be the judge.
Nearly 40% for the year. Quick trigger 3, no good. Boomerangs right back to Kyrie Irving. Now a shorter corner 3-point attempt that he connects.
So y'all tell me, how is all of that what you just saw acceptable? Y'all are happy with the effort on that possession. I want someone to respond how that's cool. Oh, is this basketball? Are we trying to win the game? This team hit 18 threes. And I've shown y'all a handful already, and this is still the first quarter. That was just the 5th shot of the first quarter, people. How are y'all cool with this? This is every game. 6th shot. Kleber passes to THJ. THJ passes back to Kleber, who is guarded by JJ in this case. Kyrie sets a screen on Bogey. Nobody moves. Kleber dribbles twice and hits a jumper. Vit is blocking out as if the shot had already gone up. And I'm not sure what Bruno is doing in this possession. JJ didn't try to get back to his man either. He had already conceded the shot. Watch this now. Watch this. This is shot number 6.
Driving kick by Kyrie. Kleber has it. Went to Hardaway. Right back to Maxey. And a nice little Gortat screen in there by Kyrie. Yeah. Opens things up for Maxey.
Play it again.
Driving kick by Kyrie. Kleber has it. Went to Hardaway. Right back to Maxey. And a nice little Gortat screen in there by Kyrie. Opens things up for Maxey.
I don't understand it. Y'all accepting this, though. Y'all are cool with this. Y'all don't care what nobody else on the team does except for one. And he didn't play this game. We lost this game by 14 points. This was a winnable game. I'm going to keep repeating that. 18 threes given up. 7 shot. Fast break again by Dallas. Kyrie, and remember, we gave up 19 points on the fast break. Another reason we lost the game. Anyway, Kyrie gives to THJ. He misses a shot. Bad. Powell is under the basket with JJ, Vic, and Bruno. And Powell gets it and lays it back up. Bruno had Powell, and Powell beat him up the floor. Explain this. Shot number 7.
Dallas defense and lost it. Hardaway, quick three. Whoa. Powell, right place, right time. Put back and a foul.
Oh, and he got an and one. Forgot about that part. One of the 34 points in the paint that they got. Okay. 8th shot. Here's the last shot of the first quarter. Basically, Kyrie drives and pulls up on Kobe. It's not hard.
But made vast improvements since this last year.
Almost 11 points per game better this year than last year. Kyrie stops on a dime, pulls up, rattles it home.
Now, we can say that's Kyrie on the rookie and everything. Okay. Well, you're going to see some Kyrie doing some Kyrie stuff on people who aren't rookies. And I want y'all to tell me, how is it good? Or we should just supposed to give up all these points to Kyrie? Nobody's supposed to lock up Kyrie. Nobody can do that job. The reason that people keep saying that they can't do their job is Trey be on the floor. So Trey ain't playing this game. I want y'all to explain that as we go through these shots. Second quarter, first shot. So how many times, if you've watched my show regularly, make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. Do it now. How many times have I said you don't have to allow a screen to happen? There's things that you can do. You can push out the screen. You can hedge the screen. You can let the man go through. You can let your man. There's things that you can do. Bruno has Gafford. Hunter has Luka. Bruno could have just stayed back a bit and let Hunter stay with Luka, but no, Bruno goes for Luka again. Gafford cuts. Guess what? Mismatch is created. Bogey is now trying to stop Gafford, who does what? Gets an easy layup. This is the first shot of the second quarter.
Hunter's averaging almost 18 points a game over the last 11. Here's P.J. Washington. Let's a rip on a three off the kick out from Luka.
I knew this was going to happen. All right, so give me a second. I forgot I'm going in the wrong direction. So first shot, second quarter. Here we go.
You know, we all have this kind of foreboding sense about the difficulty of this game after the long and winding and arduous 5-game road trip for Dallas.
And the thing that makes me so mad about it is just the nonchalantness that Bruno again, or Clint again, overhelp, overplay, leave their man, and it don't matter that their man scores almost every single freaking time. Don't matter. And nobody from the bench says nothing, and neither Bruno or Clint has a presence of mind or recognition to realize what they're doing is hurting the team. And most of y'all don't care about that either. 25th in points in the paint given up. Second shot, second quarter. So I'm gonna play this next shot. I want you to pay attention on how nobody gets on their man. Hunter's supposed to have Luka. Where is he at? Luka brings the ball up, and now Bogey has to get Luka. And guess what happens? I'm not even gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you. Second shot, second quarter.
But off target on the shot attempts. Defensive board claimed by Gafford. Luka, drop buster.
The Dallas Mavericks hit 18 threes in this game. I'm going to give you a hint who gave up most of them. Saw that one. Third shot, second quarter. Another fast break. Remember, they had 19 points on the fast break. Luka passes to Hardy. Bogey kind of tries to make a play. Hardy misses a layup at the rim. Bruno had tried to block it. Now, not sure who had PJ, because JJ and Hunter not even in the picture at this point. PJ gets the board, and as Bogey kind of is there, PJ puts it back up for a layup. Bruno was there for both attempts. Third shot, second quarter.
And they are in transition, and Hardy no, but it's P.J. Washington digging out a loose ball and a tough putback inside.
People just standing. Just I'll play it again for you.
And they are in transition, and Hardy no, but it's P.J. Washington digging out a loose ball and a tough putback inside.
Bruno, JJ, Bogey, someone do something. We're just supposed to just give up the points. Fourth shot, second quarter. Vitt has Luka one-on-one. Luka does Luka magic for an and one. Clint Cook came over and helped defense, but instead of coming over for a block attempt, he's blocking out Gafford before the shot goes up. Another time that's happened in this game. Fourth shot, second quarter.
Now Luka. Pete Krejci is having a hard time, and so hard of a time that he got caught in no man's land, left his feet.
Why didn't Clint come up and block Luka? Instead, he's holding people back. Shot ain't even gone up yet. He's holding people back as if he's on the Dallas Mavericks. Like, you see that, and it's like, oh, it's cool. It's all good. Ain't no problem with that. I mean, it's just basketball. Are we trying to win games? Fifth shot. Luka gets the ball, gets a brush screen, takes a dribble, step back three on Vitt. Pretty easy.
He shot 57.5% on threes in his last 7 games. And guys, he's making a run to qualify for the league leaders in three-point percentage and perhaps the league lead.
18 threes the Hawks gave up in this game. Y'all want to say that's positive. Sixth shot, second quarter. I want y'all to watch Hunter the entire possession. He's supposed to be on Luka, right? So here's another fast break. Luka gets the pass. Garrison could come up to guard, doesn't. JJ was trailing, comes to guard, takes a bad angle. Boom, Luka goes around him all the way to the bucket. Around Garrison, and Clint isn't able to block it from behind. I want y'all to watch Hunter, though, the whole possession, as I mentioned. Again, JJ didn't have an angle to make a play because Garrison was now in the way. Clint's too far behind. Luka is Hunter's guy. I'm giving this point up to Hunter. Sixth shot, second quarter.
He rejects it to Duncanville. Here's a shot fake and drive, and slicing through the defense, Luka Doncic.
Did you see Hunter? I'm going to play it again.
He rejects it to Duncanville. Here's a shot fake and drive, and slicing through the defense, Luka Doncic.
So, a note. Clint didn't get the block there. Clint is not a defensive stopper like he used to be 4 years ago, okay, when he got some Defensive Player of the Year votes. Okay, as I mentioned in my last show entitled Around the ATL Side Notes, Clint Capella and Trae Young. Clint is not Houston Clint, and he definitely ain't 2020 Clint. Okay? But he's supposed to be one of our best defenders, along with Hunter and along with DJ. But they're not, we can absolve them from doing their job, though, according to most of y'all out there in the world. Because Trae Young supposedly is just so bad. And they can't play defense because of Trae. Well, I've shown y'all in the games that he's been back, starting with the Charlotte game. Well, that's just not true. They still can't play defense. They can't play defense now, and they can't play defense then. They weren't playing deep. Their defensive ratings tell you that. If you believe in defensive ratings, Trae and DJ got the same defensive rating. And Hunter is right there, along with Sadiq Bey, the whole team at the very bottom of the league. But if you don't believe that, you got to believe the shots that they give up each game, which is why I do this review, so you can see for yourself what actually happens. But my point is, we can't afford, if Clint can't stop the points and he can't score the points, I'm sorry, his value is not what it needs to be the starter and getting started minutes or finishing the fourth quarter, because he's not a threat at all on offense. He had 6 points in this game. Again, he can't shoot a three. He can't hit a jumper from anywhere on the court, and he can barely finish inside. He shot 57% from the field for the year, which is the lowest of his career since his rookie season. And he can't hit free throws. That means he's barely getting the alley-oops, too. You see what I'm saying? But in this particular game, again, Gaffer I think he only took 5 shots this whole game. And because of matchup, Clint didn't have to defend a lot of people in this game, actually. That was one of a few. That wasn't his man, but he tried to defend it. But just watch the rest of this game. But that's my point about Clint. He's not the player one way or one side of the ball or the other side of the ball enough to have him as value on the starting lineup side. He can't help you win games like that now. Off the bench, that's a different story, though. And I'll get into that a little bit later. 7th shot, second quarter. Another fast break. Remember, Hawks 28th in fast break points given up. They gave up 19 in this game. It mattered. Luka has the ball. He passes cross court to Kyrie Irving. Of course, Kyrie has nobody guarding him. He gets to the three-point line. Now, JJ comes up. I'm gonna just play this. Y'all will see it for yourself.
Goodness. And there's that hard pull three. Kyrie! 4-point plays all around tonight. You get a 4-point play.
Who's supposed to have Kyrie? I don't know. Guess. 8th shot, second quarter. Again, I'm gonna put it up here just for emphasis. Know where your man is. 8th shot. So whatever happens behind you does not matter. So if you have your assignment, I'm gonna get my water in a second. If you have your assignment, whatever's happening in back of you, if your man is in front of you, you're following him wherever he is on that floor. I always talk about when I play basketball, and I played last Sunday night. Whatever happens, my job is not let my man score. So if I got to run around the court like Rip Hamilton to keep up with my man, or if he goes into the post, I got to not let him get his post position. I got to be strong and keep him out of his post position. If he faces up, I got to contest that shot. I got the wingspan that I can do that. If he tries to go by me, yeah, my knee is kind of messed up right now, but I still got to try to move my feet and slide over. And/or got to get a double team, and/or we switch. Hawks don't do any of this, though. None of the time, okay? So I want y'all to look at this on the 8th shot. Hunter has Luka. DJ has Kyrie. Bogey has THJ. I want you to watch Bogey through this entire possession to make sure I got it queued up. Kyrie drives past DJ. He kicks to a wide open Luka because Hunter is ball watching. There are 4 Hawks in the paint at a certain point. Luka gets the ball. Hunter comes up to guard. Luka goes around him. DJ comes up, goes by him. Doesn't go for the ball or nothing. Bogey is ball watching. And so, of course, Luka passes to a wide open THJ. Want to know what happens? I'm going to show you. Now, again, Dallas has hit 18 threes in this, was going to hit 18 threes in this basketball game. Trae Young is not on the floor.
Who expected him to work the baseline on an offensive rebound?
Driving kick, Kyrie. Closeout by Hunter. Attacking the closeout. Luka open in the corner. Yes, sir! Tim Hardaway Jr.
I'm going to play this again. Watch Bogey.
Who expected him to work the baseline on an offensive rebound?
Driving kick, Kyrie. Closeout by Hunter. Attacking the closeout. Luka open in the corner. Yes, sir! Tim Hardaway Jr.
Bogey not one time knew where THJ was. He wasn't looking at him at all. At all. At all. Until it was too late. Dallas hit 18 threes in this game. Night shot, second quarter. Make sure I got it queued up. Hunter has Luka. Garrison has Washington. There is no screen set by Washington. Emphasize that. He just walks through. Garrison actually switches to Luka properly in this case. Hunter was supposed to switch to PJ. Hunter does not. He isn't guarding anybody. Bogey has THJ now, and he is again ball watching. So when Luka drives, PJ is diving to the bucket. If Luka had passed to him, he would have had a layup, easy. Instead, Luka passes to a wide open THJ. Since Hunter didn't rotate to the open man, see, Bogey could have just stayed with his man the whole time. None of this happens, but here's the result.
Not just bomb, make.
Yeah.
Other end of the floor, Hardaway, right back at you. A response three.
I'll show you again.
Not just bomb, make.
Yeah.
Other end of the floor, Hardaway, right back at you. A response three.
Did you see all the Hawks in the paint there? Did you see where Bogey was at? Where he wasn't supposed to be? And no one cares about that. I don't know why. Ninth shot, second quarter. Hunter has Luka. Garrison has Washington. Oh, wait, that's a ninth shot. 10th shot. Stay with your man. Stay with your man. All four Hawks are behind the three-point line with Clint in the post. He misses the shot. Nobody is there to rebound. I don't know. Again, I don't know what happened there. But Luka gets the rebound. THJ has a run out, and Luka baseball passes to THJ for a layup. Fast break.
Capella, man, Cleveland really digging in and holding its ground there to defend.
Oh, nice outlet.
And there's QB1. Tim Hardaway Jr. catches the long pass.
It's good.
After earlier, I just rolled through the fact that Clint Capella shoots 57% from the field for the season. He shoots 60% from 0 feet to 5 feet in as the big on our team, okay, which is bad, by the way. He should be in the 70s, especially since he don't hit no other shots. He needs to be at 80% as far as I'm concerned, but he's at 60. Okongwu, as a contrast, is 77% or so, or 78, okay? When all of your shots are right there. But knowing this, though, our team, we don't got nobody in there to help rebound. Like we were supposed to just expect Clint to hit that shot. I told you what Clint was for the night, right? I think he was 3 for 7 for the game. He had 6 points. So off of that, rebound, baseball pass, nobody stayed with their man. Let me show you that part again. 10th shot.
Capella, man, Cleveland really digging in and holding its ground there to defend.
Oh, nice outlet.
And there's QB1. Tim Hardaway Jr. catches the long pass.
It's good.
Who's guarding him? Bogey. Which is why he can't start. He gives up too many points. He doesn't play defense. I'm going to put you like this. We don't have a team that plays defense well enough to mask how bad Bogey is. Trey ain't as bad as Bogey is. Sorry, that's just the truth. Like I said, Trey ain't the best defender on the team, but he ain't the worst. Bogey is the worst. He doesn't stay with his man. He ball watches. It's bad, y'all. And y'all will see at the end. 11th shot. This is an easy one. I'm not even going to describe this one.
Against Boston, down 30, able to walk them down and able to get a win. So it's a team that you're going to have to put away and really put a stamp on it.
Kyrie inside with the basket for the Mavs to tie it.
Now, going back to the comment that was on the YouTube page from the previous show about DJ being an all-star. Again, he wasn't an all-star for the Atlanta Hawks. He was an all-star for the San Antonio Spurs. And one of the reasons was he played some defense then. He ain't played a lick of defense since he's been in Atlanta. Okay? And especially not the 2023 season. Give me an excuse of why he couldn't stop Kyrie Irving right there if he's such a good defender. That ain't the first time what you just saw happen. This is the truth. This is what actually happened in the game, not what you think happened. And there was no Trae Young out there stopping him from playing defense, because that's what people keep saying. Okay, 12th shot, second quarter. This is all in the second quarter, by the way. They had a lot of shots. So play-by-play guys mentioned something during this possession, so I want y'all to pay attention to that. So the Kyrie, actually, I'm going to just play this for y'all.
The Mavs are holding opponents since the trades back in February to 53.5% shooting in the paint. And there is a smooth turnaround midi.
So that's back-to-back shots on DJ by Kyrie Irving. But did you hear what the commentator said, the play-by-play guy? Since their trade, their points in the paint that they were giving up came way down. Again, those two trades they made to go along with who they had with Lively and Derrick Jones and everybody got them to the Western Conference Finals, and they won the Western Conference Finals, and they made it to the finals. No, they couldn't beat Boston. Boston was stacked, but they made the finals by making moves to fit some people around their best player who can't play a lick of defense. It matters. But right there, DJ had a chance to play some defense on Kyrie Irving again, and it didn't happen. 12th shot, second quarter. 13th shot, my bad. I got to make sure I'm going front to back. So 13th shot. Fast break again. Again, Dallas hit 19 points on the fast break. Nobody picks up man in this case again. Who has THJ? Who has Washington? Who has Kyrie? Who has Luka? I don't know. So as Luka is bringing up the ball, look at what Bogey is doing. Okay? Now, again, is Luka Hunter's man or not? So with Bogey there, guess what? THJ is open because Bogey was guarding THJ tonight. Nobody has Powell, though. JJ isn't looking at him at the time. Nobody still has Washington yet. So when Luka gets to the three-point line, DJ isn't guarding anybody either. JJ isn't. Hunter isn't. So Luka drives all the way to the basket, then passes to THJ, who passes to a wide-open PJ. Because nobody is saying nothing. What was the other thing I said earlier? Communication. We're not being coached well enough, folks. We're just not. And why don't y'all care about that part of it? Because we would see adjustments every quarter if we had somebody adjusting on the sideline. We would. And again, if players can't get it, take them out. Call up College Park if you got to. If they're if the whole team is that bad, you see what I'm saying? And that's why this offseason was important of kind of changing some things, because he couldn't do it again. And that's, again, I'm so scared. We just can't start Clint one more season. We can't do it. Anyway, here's how the 13th shot ends up going for us.
Pretty alert lob pass, but Bogdanovich couldn't finish on either opportunity. Wow, what a whip-out pass by Luka. Swing by Hardaway.
I'll play it again.
Pretty alert lob pass, but Bogdanovich couldn't finish on either opportunity. Wow, what a whip-out pass by Luka. Swing by Hardaway.
Look how many Hawks were just standing. Y'all don't care about that? Because that's every game. It got nothing to do with Trae Young. That's every blasted game you see that. I see it. Somebody else has to see it because it's hurting us. We just gave up another three-point shot. I'll play it one more time.
Pretty alert lob pass, but Bogdanovich couldn't finish on either opportunity. Wow, what a whip-out pass by Luka. Swing by Hardaway.
14th shot of the second quarter. We don't know how to double people. I've said that plenty of times. We don't know how to play zone defense. I showed y'all that in that Denver game. Anyway, off a screen, Bogey is on Luka. JJ doesn't come to help. Hunter leaves Bogey on the island, which we do very often as a team. Luka picks up dribble and decides to do Luka magic again. I can't really blame Bogey for this one, but he was guarding him in this case. So, but up to this point, Bogey has given up 5 3-pointers already, by the way, just to let y'all know.
Time.
Here's Luka along the sideline. And hello, Winda! Another display of some Luka magic.
But Bogey shouldn't be guarding Luka at all. But we keep accepting this, though. Third quarter now. I got to keep going bottom to top. First shot, there it is. So first shot, well, I'm going to just let y'all see this for yourself.
He's now 1 of 7 tonight.
This third quarter, as Kyrie operates, it's where he's been cooking. And he got right where he wanted to go, follow well.
The chef is cooking some more.
Kyrie is cooking. He's cooking DJ. There's another shot that DJ gave up one-on-one to his assignment. Nobody cares. He lost his game by 14 points. 19 fast break points. I think 19 second chance points. Didn't give up a lot of points in the paint, relatively what the Hawks usually give up, but all this other stuff comes into play. Second shots, third quarter. Another turnover, fast break. Clint has Gafford. Gafford beats Clint all the way down the floor. Nobody stops the ball. So Gafford gets a dunk. But I'm not going to give this one to Clint. Because JJ also was back, and for some reason, DJ had Washington. JJ took the angle to Washington and let Gafford get the dunk. So I'm going to show this to y'all.
Another attempt by Bogdanovich, maybe a pass, whatever it was, broken up by Dallas.
Boy,
P.J.
Gafford.
Washington to Gafford, running the floor.
Play it again. Watch what JJ does.
Another attempt by Bogdanovich, maybe a pass, whatever it was, broken up by Dallas.
Boy,
P.J.
Gafford.
Washington to Gafford, running the floor.
DJ was there in front of PJ. Why did JJ go to PJ too? Third shot of the third quarter. Nobody picks up man again. Luka has the ball. Who does Hunter have? Who does Bogey have? Who has Kyrie? Who has Washington? Luka passes to Washington, who gives to Gafford, who dunks on Clint. Third shot, third quarter.
Luka waiting for Washington, ball down at his feet, still came away with it, out of his feet and upstairs to Gafford.
One of the 34 points in the paint that they scored. Fourth shot, turnover. Luka has it. Derek Jones races out. Since nobody picks him up, he gets a dunk. I'm going to give this one to Hunter because he was the closest.
Bogdanovich, he's made 2 baskets here in the quarter. Deflection, Luka. Save it, Luka! Wow. The leading scorer in the league doing that. And here's flight 55.
You see the lackadaisicalness there of Hunter again? Let me play it again.
Bogdanovich, he's made 2 baskets here in the quarter. Deflection, Luka. Save it, Luka! Wow. The leading scorer in the league doing that. And here's flight 55.
So I'm supposed to ignore this and not care about this. I'm supposed to just say, let's blame it all on Trae Young. When Trae Young ain't playing in this game, and this is every game, whether or not Trae is playing or not, there is no discipline. There is no oomph on the defensive end. Because, if it was, Hunter would be first, second team all defense every year. He'd be leading the team in offensive charges taken. He'd have at least 1 block a game or more, and he'd have 2 steals a game. He's averaged 4 rebounds a game for his career when he should be at 8. It's all effort, and I'm showing it to you, and y'all don't care for some reason. Fifth shot, Luka has the ball, step back 3 on Hunter.
Rebounding is Dallas, 1 to the good. Luka on target, thought he got fouled on the elbow.
Did Hunter jump? Sixth shot. Again, why is Bogey on Luka? Let me play this. I'm going to just play it. Goodness gracious.
Bogdanovich up on Luka. Late clock. We know what Luka does in these situations. That is what he does.
You know what what Luka does in those situations, and nobody does nothing about it. No double team, no nothing. We're just going to let him. That's how he scored 73 points against the Hawks. He didn't get doubled. Nobody was going to stop him. Not JJ, not Bogey, not DJ, not Bogey. Oh, no. The people who were guarding him most of the night wasn't Trey, by the way. But not one double team. We're just going to let him 50, 60. We're going to let him score 13 more points. But why is Bogey on him? And guess what? Bogey gave up another 3. I'm not even going to describe this one.
Krejci up on Luka. Put it down once. Step back, Jack.
At least Vitt jumped. 8-shot, third quarter. Derrick Jones was in the post. He walks all the way out to the 3. I'm gonna just show it to y'all.
Almost directed home off the backboard, then the tip in by Jones. All's well that ends well. The Mavericks couldn't execute 2 lobs, so they just take a 3 instead.
So did Clint contest that? Or does he do what he usually do, just stays back and just let the man shoot and he watches it go in? They hit 18 threes in this game, folks. Y'all don't care about that? Nobody cares? After this game, the Hawks gave up 23 threes to the Denver Nuggets, and after that game, they gave up 18 more threes to the Miami Heat. Lost that game in double overtime by 6 points. Giving up threes. Go watch. They're all listed on around the ATL on IMTM Worldwide Radio. Go watch all those games. You shouldn't be cool with it. You shouldn't be happy with it. You shouldn't be satisfied with that. And none of those games Trey played in. There ain't no, if that's your excuse, explain these games. That's all I want someone to do. Let's see. Yeah, night shot, third quarter. Kyrie brings the ball up. DJ has him. Now, why is Bruno trying to guard Kyrie Irving instead of finding Kleber on this possession? Kyrie comes up, drives, passes to Kleber, who has a wide open shot. But since JJ never stayed with his man, which is PJ Washington curls over to the 3. You know what? You already know what happens, right?
Got to stay engaged in this one because of what Atlanta's shown they can do lately. That's good for engagement.
Absolutely. He's been engaged this entire game.
He was talking about the Hawks, but the Hawks need to stay engaged too, because look what happened. Again. What? I'll play it again.
Got to stay engaged in this one because of what Atlanta's shown they can do lately. That's good for engagement.
Absolutely. He's been engaged this entire game.
If the Atlanta Hawks would just stop ball watching, we would win 50 games every season. Just because of that. 10th shot. Am I on 10th shot? Yeah, 10th shot, third quarter. This is the last shot of the third, by the way, for them. And I'll just play it because.
And we still have over 13 minutes to play. Nice catch by Kyrie. Came down, goes to Ward with the foul. Kyrie Irving, the Picasso of the paint.
Picasso of the paint. My goodness. Last quarter, here we go. So first shot. So again, I don't know what to say here, really. Kyrie inbounds to Gafford. Jones sets a screen on Kobe to get Kyrie open again. Kyrie gets the ball. Instead of Bruno just hanging back as Kyrie comes around, Kobe is following him. Because there was no screen, Bruno creates the mismatch by trying to guard Kyrie, because that's what our bigs do all the time. I've laid it out and I've showed you game after game. That's what we do. Gafford crashes at the bucket as Bruno goes all the way to half court. So as Bruno's trying to get back on man, you know what happens? Really, Bruno just should have stayed on Kyrie since that's what he wanted to do. But he didn't do that. So instead of staying on Kyrie, again, Gafford had been picked up by JJ. Okay? Nobody calls it out. Nobody says nothing. So Bruno ends up running into Kobe. So guess what? That leaves Kyrie wide freaking open. You know what he ends up doing?
One game down by 30 and storming back. Kyrie walks into a long three and a big hit.
And you see JJ gets hurt there too, right? Ridiculous. Second shot of the fourth quarter. I'll just play this one.
I mean, we're talking about somebody who's only played like a little over 110 minutes this season. And he's got some tough work to do here. I mean, the other Kobe didn't stop Kyrie Irving very many times.
No.
The Minnesota game, the last two shots that Minnesota hit, field goals wise, was from Anthony Edwards. And both times the Atlanta Hawks left Kobe Buffkin on the island. They did it again right there. They could have doubled, and they chose not to. They pretend to double. I'm gonna come, maybe we'll throw my arm out like that's defense. Third shot, fourth quarter, another fast break. Nobody picks up anybody. Watch Bruno. Derek Jones gets a dunk. Bruno literally sees Derek, and then he looks at Luka. That's the wrong shot.
Good stand under there.
And that's not the first time. Here's Jones, flick 55!
Fourth shot, fast break. JJ is going to pick up Luka, but who has Cleveland? Clint isn't in the picture. Who has Washington? Since JJ has Luka now. Nobody says nothing. Luka brings it up. Hunter picks up Cleveland. Bogey is looking at Luka. That's not his man. Bogey hasn't picked up anybody. He's pointing again, as usual. Derek Jones wide open. PJ is open. Luka passes to PJ for what? Another three. I'm going to give this one to Bogey because he was right there.
PJ open for three. Yeah, baby!
It's almost over, guys. Fifth shot.
Missed on the step back, Luka. Didn't draw iron, but it does bounce out to Jones. Dallas has got to put something up, and Jones is going to be the one to do that. And he makes sense.
And final shot of the game.
That's what wins you games in play.
Brandon Williams takes a three and misses it, but Jaden Hardy with an offensive rebound, shot up and in.
Now, Hunter in this game only gave up 7 points, mostly per matchups, as I mentioned before. JJ gave up 16 points in this game. Clint, again, because of matchups, only gave up 7. You just ain't had nobody trying to score on him this game. Bogey gave up 27 points in this game. So JJ giving up 16 and Bogey giving up 27 was the bulk of the points given up in this particular game. DJ gave up 6. But he wasn't primarily on Kyrie the whole time. He wasn't shooting on DJ all the time. He was shooting on other people. Okay? And also, by the way, I don't count free throws. So there's a lot of I think they hit 15 free throws in this game. So we're extra 15 points. So remember that. I don't count those, though, in the review. Garrison gave up 3 points. Bruno gave up 12 off the bench. So your 3 double-digit points giver-uppers was Bruno, Bogey, and JJ in this case. Vic gave up 8 points, and Kobe gave up 8 points. All his points was the Kyrie. So that's 8 points right there. So between, what's 8 plus 6? Was that 14, something like that? Because remember, Bogey gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threes because he's always on someone he shouldn't be on. You see how sometimes the points go to different people because of mismatches and or unmatches in the first place? Bogey gave up 27 points in this one game. He gave up 7 3-pointers and 21 points. The Hawks lost this game by 14. He gave up 7 of the 18 threes that they hit. This is why Bogey can't start. It just can't happen. I'm sorry, Bogey. You can't start because he leaves too many people wide freaking open because he has no discipline. He will not stay with his man. He's going to ball watch and point and think that's defense. Yeah, sometimes he has a little one-on-one defense thing in him or whatever, and he gets a steal. He averaged a steal a game this year. But the majority of the minutes that he plays, he's not guarding nobody. I just showed y'all another game of that. He gives up 5 threes a game sometimes, every game. He gave up 7 in this game, though. This was a winnable game. They had came back. But you can't come back and then keep giving up wide open threes. I'm looking at my notes. It was 15 free throws as well. Because I only show the shots. I don't show free throws and missed shots and stuff. That would take forever. So again, sometimes it's tough how I attribute points to a player, like some of the fast breaks and things of that nature, or some of those threes. But I do a pretty good job based on just looking. Sometimes I got to assign points to some people because, again, who's the closest type of a deal, right? But doggone it, Bruno gave up 12 points off the bench. Like, that shouldn't happen. The Hawks were 25th in points in the paint given up, 26th in blocks, 28th in fast break points. And the only reason they're not bad at second chance points given up every game because they give up so many points in the paint in the first place. They don't miss. People don't miss. They're hitting 53 points a game. You see what I'm saying? But nobody cares about these. We give up 14 threes a game, every game. Again, Gafford wasn't a threat in this game. So again, Clint didn't have to really worry about a lot. His minutes were kind of scattered in this game as far as who he was on, but the people he was on weren't scoring. The people who were scoring was Kyrie, Luka, and PJ Washington. Clint wasn't guarding none of those guys. Okay? But Bogey was. Hunter didn't give up a lot of points because he was never on Luka enough. That was his guy. Bogey was on Luka more than anybody else in this game, basically. That ain't supposed to happen. See how that just twisting that, just changing that up, saying, Hunter, stay with your man. You're supposed to be our best defender. You're the wing defender. You're the 3-and-D guy. None of y'all care about that, though, for some reason. Some of y'all. But Bogey gave up 7 of the 18 threes hit in this game. JJ gave up 4 threes himself. Bad game. He had 16 rebounds. But he only scored 6 points in this game. Clint only scored 6 points in it. Clint can't afford that. Clint had 5 turnovers, 6 points. He was 3 or 7 from the floor. You can't afford a game like that. You see what I'm saying? It has to matter. I want y'all, if you can, I missed something here. Oh, that's what I was saying. Clint had 13 boards. JJ had 16 boards, and they lost this game by 14 points. Rebounds are systematic of somebody missing a shot. What did Taurean Prince say? Put your hands in the air, bring down the ball, and that's a rebound. We need to stop the shot in the first place more. That's what we need to be doing. And we do not do that enough. That would matter more. 4.6 offensive rebounds a game from Clint, and these most contested rebounds and all that don't matter if you're not putting the ball back in the bucket or you're stopping the other player from scoring points. It has to matter at a certain point. For some of y'all, it don't for some reason. And again, how was this game on Trae Young? He didn't play. Go watch the Denver Nuggets game where we gave up 6. And this is one other thing I do want to reiterate. Some of these games bleed into each other. So this game right here, this Dallas game, and we play the Denver Nuggets next. The Denver Nuggets end up hitting 52% from the field, I believe, off the top of my head. No, my bad. 60% from the floor, 57% from three. They hit 23 threes in the game. I think they had 24 fast break points. It's absurd the numbers that Denver put up against us right after this game that you just watched. And I want you to go look at that game and see who gave up all the points in that game. And then I want you to go look at that Miami Heat game and look at what Clint did against Bam and Hunter did against Butler. Who gave up all the points to Jovic? Who gave up all the points to Tyler Hero in double overtime? Then I want you to go and look at the Timberwolves game that we lost by 3 points. I want you to look at the Charlotte Hornets. Actually, the Charlotte Hornets game comes before the Timberwolves game. That was the first game Trey came back. We lost to the Charlotte Hornets 115-114 by 1 point. Trey didn't play the fourth quarter. We had a 92-77 point lead, and we lost the game anyway. How do you blame Trae Young for that? You can't do it. How did we lose that game? The Timberwolves game, we lost by 3 points. That was another winnable game. Pacers game wasn't a winnable game. They scored 157 points on us. Did Trae Young give up 157 points by himself? No, he did not. Go watch that game. And then that game definitely bled into the Bulls playing game because the Pacers had like 80 points in the paint. And they shot 52% from three. The Bulls game, they had 72 points in the paint and 42% from three. No adjustments were made. None. And we couldn't stop Kobe White. Go look and see who gave up all those points on Kobe White. It was not Trae Young. I'm sorry to burst your bubble for the people who don't want to watch no games, but Trae Young wasn't the primary or even the half-airy, that's not a word, defender on Kobe White. And who was stopping Vucevic, who scored 24 points? Who was stopping DeRozan, who had 22? Where was Hunter? By the way, Hunter only had 8 points and 2 boards in that game. Why don't that matter to anybody? I just don't understand it. Go watch all of those games on Around the ATL on IMTM Worldwide Radio. Go watch for yourself and explain to me why all of those losses were okay to y'all. Why are those losses acceptable to you? I want someone to say why. Because we just watched a game that the Dallas Mavericks hit 18 threes on us, and Trae Young was nowhere on the floor to blame for that. It was a game we could have won. It was a game we came back in. Luka and Kyrie are the only people hurting you. Why couldn't we at least stop Kyrie? DJ was there. Why couldn't Hunter stop Luka? Ain't he the Luka stopper? We only play him twice a year. Why couldn't he stop him in this game? The next game I'll be reviewing is going to be the Pistons game, game 76. We did win that game, but barely, because Malachi Flynn couldn't be stopped. A 5 points a game player dropped 50 on the Atlanta Hawks. Only 2 other Pistons on the team had double digits. That was 11 points each. Hawks won that game, I believe, by 7 points, and that was at home. So I'm going to review that game. I'm going to see who gave up all these points to Malachi Flynn. We couldn't stop Malachi freaking Flynn. Trae Young didn't play. So you can't blame him for that. So hopefully you enjoyed this game, Dallas Mavericks, the review, I should say, not the result, but the review of it shot for shot. How did Dallas make all these shots? Go check it out. And again, if you enjoy it, Around the ATL, share it with one other person who likes Atlanta sports or the Atlanta Hawks, either or. Again, the next game will be coming probably this weekend. It's going to be the Detroit Pistons, as I mentioned, game 76. But make sure you go and watch the other games. Watch Denver, watch the Heat game, watch Minnesota, watch the Charlotte Hornets game, watch the Pacers game, watch the playing game with the Bulls, and you see for yourself who gave up all the points, because that's what matters more so than anything. That's why I'm doing this review. Who gave up all the points, and how can we stop this in the future? Okay. So That being said, I want to shout out my man Jordan Jackson again. Again, Jordan's mom has cancer now, and he's taking care of her. And just have your thoughts and your prayers to his family, because it's tough. That's one of the reasons I haven't been on a lot. I just got real down about it because my dad had passed from cancer as well, and I just wasn't in the mood to do no shows for a period of time. So I'm just not kind of coming back. But I'm gonna try to hold it down until he's available again to do shows with me. I am planning to do a full 2-hour around the ATL soon, though, because we gotta start talking some Falcons, obviously, some Braves. So I will do a show where we're talking all of our sports pretty soon. So tune in for that. But in the meantime, I almost forgot. I do want to play this. I'm playing this at the end of every show now, just to give you a difference. I'm just trying to be clear. Wouldn't you want a better option at the 5 so we're not playing 4-on-5 anymore? So I'm going to play this, and then we're going to head on out.
Nobody's benefited more from playing with Tyrese than Miles Turner. He's been able to put him in position to make plays, catch the ball, giving him confidence.
Before I finish, this is the second game that the Hawks gave up 150-plus points to the Pacers.
Murray again, too strong off the glass. Capella, and they gang rebound, and Halliburton tiptoes along the end line. Yeah, good to see Bruce Brown out there again. Andrew Nembhard missing his second consecutive game out due to injury. He was in the starting lineup as the Pacers started this win streak. That's a miss by Capella, rebounded by Turner.
Enough to freeze the defense.
And missed 5 straight games with a right knee bone bruise. Had 15 points the other night against Milwaukee. That's a blocked shot.
This is where the psychology comes in. You want to make sure that Toppin gets rewarded for the fact that he played well.
Bay misses, rebound, there's Capella, and he missed it again, and that's Pacers ball. These are two teams that average better than 14 made threes per game. Turner again in the center of the floor. Goes inside against Bay, and a foul. Again, the Pacers had great balance. They had 4 starters in double figures. Jalen Smith was one of those with 11. Halliburton was the only starter not in double figures as Turner starts with a jump shot. Trent Forrest is in for Atlanta. Also Bogdan Bogdanovic as Turner's jump shot good. Pacers lead by 5.
I can't tell you how good that pass is. Capella, that's how he makes his living. But you got to be ready to shoot that.
Halliburton gets in, finds Turner, and Turner lays it in.
Now, that was all in the same game. And just like this Dallas game where Clint was 3 for 7, again, there has to be a difference in saying having a big that can't hit a jumper, can't hit a 3, can't hit free throws, and can't finish in the paint, as opposed to somebody who can hit all the shots. Why wouldn't you want someone who can do that rather than not? Okay? Because either you got to be really good on offense or really good on defense, but you can't be below even on both, can you? And expect to win a lot of games when that person is playing majority of the minutes as a starter, and especially playing in the fourth quarter where there is no way in the world that person can be relied on to do any of those things I just mentioned. Can't hit a spot up 3. 10 years have gone by. You can't hit a 3 anywhere on the court. 0% from 3. That's a fact. 0 to 5 feet from the rim, has no touch. 60% field goal shooter is bad when you can't hit no other shots. If he was hitting 80% from there, then it'd be a little bit different, because then he'd be scoring 18 points a game, right? But he scores 11 points a game, and barely that. He scored 6 points in this Dallas game I just showed y'all. 6, okay? It's not a lot. So why wouldn't you want someone who can hit hit 30% from 3, spot up 3 at the top of the key or in the corner, the short corner, hit a 15-foot jumper, hit a 10-foot jumper, hit all your free throws, finish all your shots in the paint. If you can't hit no shots from anywhere else, you got to finish in the paint. That's why I talked about in the show called What's the Point? I asked the questions. I see a comment. I asked the question, have you ever played basketball before? If you played basketball, is the goal to win the game or just get up and down the court? If the goal is to win the game, is it ever okay for someone else to do your job? What are your jobs? I'm the tallest guy usually when I go play. I got to get all the rebounds. I can't let the 5'4" guy get a rebound over me. That's not allowed. I don't care how I feel, right? I'm old man Royster out there, but I gotta get some blocks. I got to get some boards. On top of me posting up and scoring on people or posting up and running the offense through me because I'm a great passer. But that's my job. I got to rebound. That's why I get picked up still. That's why I win games still, because I can do those things still. I can get up and down the court. You see what I'm saying? Some people are really fast. They can get to the bucket. Some people are really good with their hands. They can steal the ball. Some people are great at setting screens like me. Some people can hit pure jumpers, right? Some people can block shots. Some people can dunk. Whatever your job is, you got to do that, but you got to do that at exceptional level. But if you're doing minor stuff at below average levels, then you're in trouble because the other team has somebody who can drop 15, 17 points or more. If you got to even out the production. We just haven't had that at the center position. How many points did you score in those games? Which one? Did you watch this review? Did you watch the review of the Denver game that I did? Did you watch the review of the Miami game with Bam? Did you watch the review of again, Christopher, the tape shows you what he did. In this particular game, he scored 6 points. Clint only gave up 7 points because the points were primarily going through Kyrie and Luka, and Clint don't guard Kyrie or Luka. In this game, I'm trying to scroll back to it. There it is. So Hunter gave up 7 because he wasn't guarding Luka. He was letting Bogey guard Luka most of the night for some reason. Bogey gave up 27 points in this game. Okay. JJ gave up 16 points in this game, and Bruno gave up 12 points off the bench. Kobe gave up 8 points. Vic gave up 8 points because they were on Luka and Kyrie a couple of times themselves as well. Clint gave up 29 points in that Bulls play-in game, though. I believe he gave up 29 in that Heat game, too, that we lost in double overtime, mostly to Bam and others. Show everything. What's there to show? I show every shot that the Dallas Mavericks hit. I don't have time to – my point is, in my review, is to show the defense, because that's what the complaint is with everybody, is that it's Trey's fault. I'm showing you that's just not true. I started with the play-in game that we lost 131 to 116, I believe is the final score. And your 3 primary scorers on the Bulls was Kobe White with 42, Vucevic was 24, and DeRozan with 22. And Trey wasn't the primary defender on none of those 3 players. I show you that. Go back and watch it. I showed you the Pacers game. Bruno and Mohamed Gay gave up 30 points apiece in that game. 157 points were scored. I showed you the Timberwolves game where we lost by 3 freaking points. Rudy Gobert had 25, 19, and 5 blocks in that game. Trae Young don't guard Rudy Gobert. He don't guard Anthony Edwards either. Okay? I showed y'all the Charlotte Hornets game, which was Trae Young's first game back. He was, I think, 5 for 5 with 11 assists, and they benched him the rest of the fourth quarter because he was on the minutes restriction. We had a 92 to 77 point lead in that game, and we lost the game 115 to 114. Go watch the game. I showed it to you. Who cares what we did on offense if we can't stop them on defense? I'm only showing you the defense because that's what counts. We are 25th in points in the paint given up, 26th in block shots, and 28th in fast break points given up as a team. And I show you why that happens. I showed you in this Dallas game. Dallas in this game had 19. Where am I at? Dallas in this game where the Hawks, again, came back. Dallas had a 17-point lead in this game, third quarter. Hawks came back all the way to the early fourth, and then they couldn't score like 5 minutes, and that was the game. But the Dallas Mavericks in this game had 19 fast break points. They had 16 second chance points. They had 18 three-pointers, and all of them were wide open. Wide freaking open. They had 34 points in the paint. So if you go back and watch this show, because, again, some of y'all come in kind of late, when this ends, go back and watch from the beginning, and I show y'all shot for shot. Here's what happened on this possession. I tell you what happened before I play it. Okay? You have to show the complete picture. I do that. I break it down. See, again, Christopher, come on now. There is nothing to account for picks in the switching. You just don't switch. You allow a pick when it doesn't have to be allowed to be picked. Half of these are not even picks. They're just running through. There's ghost screens. There's bubble screens. And people are over-helping. There's nothing to account for. You're just not doing your job. See, that's why I used that verbiage earlier in the show that I said, what's the point? Because if you just refuse to do your job, that's what's happening. If you don't know what to do, that's what's happening. If you're not using your peripheral vision and you know that screen is coming and you need to fight through that screen and or you need a hedge and just let the man walk through, God, dog it. If I can do it, they can do it, and they don't do it, and there is no adjustment off the bench, and there's no communication. No one calls out nothing on the floor. No one says, hey, Chris, you're by yourself. Hey, Chris, from your left. Hey, Chris, from your right. Ain't nobody doing that for the Hawks. No teammates are doing that for each other. And then you get left in an island. There's no reason in the world that Kobe Buffkin should be trying to stop Kyrie by himself. There's no reason in the world that Bogey should be on Luka the majority of the night. It's just embarrassing how Bogey gave up 7 threes in this game, and most of them were to Luka. It don't got nothing to do with attributing anything. If people don't know how to switch, if people don't know how to rotate, we're just talking about rotating. People won't contest shots. It don't got nothing to do with that. I show you that, though. That's the problem. And that's the problem with people not wanting to watch the review. People saying they watch the game on TV and stuff, that's one thing. But you actually break it down shot for shot. Here, I'll give you an example. Let me switch over real quick. I'll give you an example because I just don't think people get it. Let's see. I'll do the first shot of the first quarter. I'm a pull random stuff.
Where are you guys been? Loose ball after the miss by Jalen Johnson. In transition, Kyrie accelerates against Bogdanovich. The Rams are kind that time as Kyrie Irving goes right at the defense and scores.
Hunter could have came back and ran back and actually got in the way and did some kind of something, but he just kind of lollygagged on the way up. He does that a lot.
Coach and him went at it on the bench the other day. They hugged it out, but he's a big part of what they do.
Another corner three for Washington and another one on the money.
That's one of the best things to see going into the postseason. He's got to knock down shots.
There's no reason for Clint to have gone all the way up there like he did and leave Gafford open and you cause his mismatches. That mismatches, I should say. That's the attributing thing of it all. People over-helping non-necessarily. Calling it out, be like, hey, I got him. Stay with your man. Or just switch. Like if we were just to switch, instead of that player going to the ball handler every freaking time that Clint and Bruno do all the time, they did all this game as well, we could just switch. Because that's what we do on the court. I'm not going to let my center go all the way down the lane because I'm trying to stick with the ball handler. My man has his man. I'm staying with my man. It's basketball. It's pretty simple. I'll show you this.
Right on the other side of the floor.
Oh, yeah, right there where the ball just went in bounds. Here's Kleba again for three. Knocks it down.
Why did Bruno go to Kyrie? There's no reason for that. He left his man wide open for another three. Here's another fast break.
Nearly 40% for the year. Quick trigger three, no good. Boomerangs right back to Kyrie Irving. Now a shorter corner three-point attempt that he
My fault. That was the wrong shot. But you saw what happened there, though, right?
Nearly 40% for the year. Quick trigger three, no good. Boomerangs right back to Kyrie Irving. Now a shorter corner three-point attempt that he connects.
Playing the effort on that alone. Like nobody did anything. They just stood there and just let that junk happen. Oh, here it is. My bad. Here it goes.
Dallas defense and lost it. Hardaway quick three. Whoa. Foul, right place, right time. Put back and a foul.
Got 3 Hawks right there. Powell just gets it on one hand and lays it back up. Second quarter.
But off target on the shot attempts. Defensive board claimed by Gafford. Luka, drop buster.
Nobody picks up. You just like it don't even matter. I'm just pickpocketing through some of these real quick. Wait a minute. What quarter is this? Oh, that's still second quarter.
Goodness. And there's that hard pull three. Kyrie! 4-point plays all around tonight. You get a 4-point play.
You get a 4-point play.
Who expected him to work the baseline on an offensive rebound?
Driving kick, Kyrie. Closeout by Hunter. Attacking the closeout. Luka open in the corner. Yes, sir! Tim Hardaway Jr.
Bogey has THJ. Bogey never looked at THJ. He didn't know where THJ was. He's ball watching, and Bogey does that a lot, which is why I keep saying he cannot start. You can't give him starters minutes because he doesn't play any kind of defense. That whole possession, he was never looking at THJ until it was too freaking late. But he's ball watching. He can't use his peripheral for some reason. His whole back has to be on his whole back. His back is pointing to his assignment. That's not right. I explain that in detail all the time, and people just accept, oh, well, there got to be a reason. No, just not doing your job. That's the reason. That's bad. We gave up 18 threes in this game, mostly because of that, and Bogey gave up 7 of them. I'll show you this shot, 10th shot. Second quarter.
Capella, man, Kleba really digging in and holding his ground there to defend.
Oh, nice outlet.
And there's QB1. Tim Hardaway Jr. catches the long pass.
It's good.
Bogey didn't stay with his man. Fast break. All right, so I'm not going to show fast break. So I'm going to show you. Is this the third? No, that's the second quarter still.
Time.
So before I do this, so again, we don't know how to double anybody. So off a screen, Bogey is on Luka. JJ doesn't come to help. Hunter leaves Bogey on the island. Luka picks up the dribble and he does Luka magic. Meanwhile, somebody could have doubled him because it's Bogey on Luka. Bogey hadn't stopped Luka all night. He's on him a lot, but nobody does anything, and this is what ends up happening.
Time.
Here's Luka along the sideline. And hello, Winda! Another display of some Luka magic.
You don't let the best player on the other team keep scoring on you. You got to stop that at a certain point. Somebody got to do it. I don't care who. Somebody has to do it, though.
He's now 1 of 7 tonight.
This third quarter, as Kyrie operates, it's where he's been cooking, and he got right where he wanted to go. Well,
the chef is cooking some more.
Oh, I forgot about that. So I'll show these real quick, I guess. Is this the second quarter? I think so. Give me a second. I'm trying to.
against Boston, down 30, able to walk them down and able to get a win. So it's a team that you're going to have to put away and really put a stamp on it.
Kyrie inside with the basket for the Mavs to tie it.
Now, that's Kyrie versus DJ one-on-one. So what's the excuse? Since Trey is not there to prevent DJ from playing defense, that DJ can't stop Kyrie right there. Can someone tell me exactly what was preventing DJ from?
The Mavs are holding opponents since the trades back in February to 53.5% shooting in the paint. And there is a smooth turnaround midi.
That was the very next shot possession right there. So what was preventing? So you don't got nothing to do. Do your doggone job wherever it is. You got to be able to do that. And that's why you go and look at that Denver game, which is the game after this Dallas game, and you see what happened where they scored 142 points against the Hawks on 60% shooting from the floor and 57% from three. They hit 23 threes on the Atlanta Hawks without Trae Young in the game. We got blown out because people won't stay with their man. People won't communicate on switches. People won't rotate. People won't get back. We gave up 24 points on fast break points in that Denver game. Is this the third quarter? Let me show you this one on the third quarter on another Luka shot. If I can find it. I just found it and I lost it just that quick. Oh, fifth shot.
Rebounding is Dallas, one to the good. Luka on target. Thought he got fouled on the elbow.
Hunter didn't even jump on that. That's not contest. Eighth shot, third quarter.
Almost directed home off the backboard, then the tip in by Jones. All's well that ends well. The Mavericks couldn't execute two lobs, so they just take a three instead.
Derrick Jones went from the paint, dribbled all the way out to the three-point line and shot it, and Clint just stood there. What's the excuse of that? Like, what's the excuse of that? Again, it's just excuses. Excuses are not positive. You see what I'm saying? It's just, there's no excuse for any of this. Is this the fourth quarter? I can say I'm not doing the whole show, but you can go back and watch. But I'm just picking out some shots here.
One game down by 30 and storming back.
Oh, okay. So here's one. So Kyrie inbounds to Gafford on this one, okay? So Jones sets a screen on Kobe to get Kyrie open. Now, again, one thing I always talk about is we don't set enough screens for our shooters, but we also don't set screens to get people open like other teams do to us all the doggone time. Jones sets the screen to get Kyrie open. Kyrie gets the ball, and instead of Bruno just hang back a little bit. As Kyrie comes around, Kobe is following him. Kobe is there. Instead, Bruno comes all the way up the freaking half court. Now, at that point, since he wants to guard Kyrie Irving, okay, cool. When Gafford goes in, somebody will pick him up. That ends up being JJ, but nobody calls it out because we don't communicate as a team. Okay? But instead of just staying out there with Kyrie, because see, that's what good teams do, they just switch man so somebody is not open. And see, and what I always talk about when I play basketball on Sunday nights is, let's say I'm not able to get through a screen. So my big is on my point guard now all of a sudden, okay? What we do is, if the other team don't take advantage of that immediately, we switch back. Or, worst case scenario, I'm the doubler. I got the wingspan, you ain't getting past me, and I'm strong. I'll knock you out. So I go double. I'm not going to let my point guard stay on the island by himself against the center that I was playing, who's like 300 pounds. He actually played pretty good Sunday for the first time in a while. He actually hit a shot on me. I was actually kind of mad. Dude's 300 pounds, like legit though. I have to guard him. But I'm not going to leave my man on a freaking island, because my job is to make sure that my man don't score, even if I'm not directly sticking him. See how that works? But that's not what the Hawks do. The Hawks create mismatches on their freaking own because they get out of position. They overhelp. They don't communicate. And because we don't do good on help defense either, we can't afford that overhelp. In this particular case, because Bruno went all the way to half court and he didn't stay with his man, he's going to go try to get back on Gafford. You know what ends up happening? He runs into Kobe. They both, boom, run into each other. You know what Kyrie does? I'm going to show you. Uh-oh, oh, there it is.
One game down by 30 and storming back. Kyrie walks into a long three and a big hit.
This is a regular thing that happens. I've shown that in the games that I've shown so far, over and over and over and over again. We overhelp. We don't get back on defense. We don't block out. We don't contest shots. We don't rotate, and we don't help. We stand there. I wish I could have time to see if I can find it. I want to just see if I can. I'm going to see if I can find it. Let me see. There's one particular play. It happened a couple of times. I don't know if I can find it. There's a lot of shots here. You just have to go back and watch the whole show earlier. There's a couple of possessions where, is this it? Let's see. There's a couple of possessions where you have a defender defending nothing yet. The ball hasn't even gone up yet, and they're blocking out on a non-shot instead of actually defending. That's not supposed to happen. You're not blocking out nobody until the ball is in the air. Up until then, you're defending. And it happened multiple times in this game. I wish I could find it, but you'll just have to go back and listen, because I bring it out. I was going to see if I can catch it real quick. Let me see. Oh, there it is right there. What quarter is this? Second quarter. So second quarter. And then I got to get out of here now because I got to go. And I just lost it this again. Give me a second. I just lost it. Let's see. Oh, it's fourth shot. Okay, here we go. So fourth shot of the second quarter. Oh, that's why I can't find it. Fourth shot of the second quarter. So Vit has Luka one-on-one. Let me just show it to you first.
And they are in transition, and Hardy no, but it's P.J. Washington digging out a loose ball and a tough putback inside.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I knew there was something wrong with that. Okay, so this is the fourth shot where Vit has Luka one-on-one. Luka does some Luka magic again for an and one. And this is where Clint could have came over for help defense, but instead of coming over for a block attempt at least, he's blocking out Gafford before the shot goes up. I want y'all to look at this, because this happens a lot with us.
Now Luka. Oh, Beat Krejci is having a hard time, and so hard of a time that he got caught in no man's land, left his feet.
There is no way I could have gotten away with that. If I did what Clint just did there, the next game, if we lost, I wouldn't have got picked up the next game just because of effort. They would have been like, man, Chris kind of slow tonight, man. He must not, because that would be something I wouldn't do. I'd come up and attempt something. I'm a foul you or I'm gonna block the shot. I'm not going to stand there and just be under the basket when I could have came up and helped, because I'm the help defender. I'm right there. And I've shown this game after game after game. The playing game, game 82, game 81, game 80, game 79, game 78, game 77, which is this one. I've shown that over and over and over again. As a team, we're bad at all of these basic fundamental things, which is why I said we need to have either or better defenders or somebody on that bench who's better at actually calling this stuff out and showing this is what we need to be doing. Because again, first quarter to the second quarter, the second quarter to the third quarter, and third quarter to the fourth quarter, there's never any adjustments. We gave up 18 3-pointers in this game. 18. In 3 straight games, after 2 more games after this Dallas game, Denver, we gave up 23, and against the Heat, 18. 18, 23, 18. 3-pointers given up in games. And Trae Young wasn't playing none of those games. That can't be acceptable to nobody. That can't be acceptable, especially the games that we could have won. Like we lost 3-point game to the Minnesota Timberwolves because we couldn't stop Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was out there looking like he was Akeem Olajuwon. 25 points. He didn't miss a shot. He was 10 for 10 in that game. It don't got nothing to do with attributing this and attributing that. No, you stay with your man. You're not turning your whole back to your man. You use your peripheral, but at the end of the day, your man can't score. So if your man comes from the corner 3 all the way over to the other corner 3, you're following him. You don't care what happens with the other 4 players behind you. They don't matter. Let them do their jobs. You don't create mismatches because you want to leave your assignment. It's the same thing in football. You miss a block, that's the end of the game possibly, right? Defensive back can't just let their receiver go wherever they want to go, right? Ain't that the same thing? That's your assignment. You got to do that. You got to do that, man. All right, let me catch up on these, and I'm going to get out of here. Team defense is trash. I agree. And that's what I'm saying. It's the whole team's fault. It's not one. Again, you can't give up 150 points twice to the same team and it be one person. That's ludicrous. You see what I'm saying? It ain't cool. We give up points because we're opposite. Again, and the effort, again, I'm showing y'all that. It's bad. It ain't cool when you look at it possession for possession. Like I said, cumulatively, you're just looking from the stands and stuff. There's just little things that you're not going to see speed of the game. But when you break it down, again, NBA.com has every freaking score. Every basket made. You can look at it yourself. That's why I'm taking the time to do it for everybody. Because if people don't do that, they won't see these things. They won't see Bogey pointing. Pointing. That's what they did on Fat Albert, right? They always be pointing at stuff, right? Bogey be pointing as if he's directing people for defense. No, you need to stay with your man. Bogey, I'm sorry. JJ, stop ball watching too. There's so many times, game after game, you got 4 people standing in the paint. You got 4 people with their toe in the paint, which means you got at least 3 people standing at the 3-point line wide freaking open. That don't make no doggone sense. I could never get away with it. We don't do that when we, you see what I'm saying? As hurt as I be sometimes, and I'm just coming back from injury myself, and I will admit this, and I said this on my Sunday night basketball video, I hadn't posted it yet, but there are some people who beat me. They sure did. They got around me. But guess what? I got help defenders that comes and stops the ball movement, and they got to kick it to somewhere else, and that's when we rotate. And then me, I can contest because I can still get up. I just can't move laterally right now. But that's what they call, Chris, you're by yourself. So that means I got to back up a little bit. I'll dare you to shoot. But if you shoot, I'm jumping and I'm contesting. But you're not going to just go by me all the time. You ain't going to do that. I ain't going to let you do it. All right? We don't talk. Again, the communication is, again, it's like you can even push a person. Like, push somebody into the player at least. Like, if you're not going to talk, just like push him or something. This is reflection of the coach because I've seen give effort on defense. most of his effort base. You don't have to be a lockdown guy to play defense. His team is lazy. Now, he, again, hit it on the nail again. Like, again, it's just the principle of it all. It's like, if the ball goes up and you don't know where your man is, that's a fast break ready to happen. You should always be attached to your man. But if you're on offense and you don't block out, like, I don't know how many, but I would say however many rebounds I get a game, I definitely get 3 rebounds just from blocking out, preventing my man from being able to get any kind of position. And even if I can't get the rebound, if I block out well enough, one of my guys can get the rebound. But that's effort. That's why I always talk about the Hunter. Hunter gets 4 rebounds or less every game, as big as he is. That's inexcusable. Why doesn't Hunter have a block and a half a game? For his size, that's inexcusable. Why doesn't he lead the team in steals? For his size, that's inexcusable. And for some reason, everybody just let it go. That ain't cool when he's supposed to be 3 and D guy. He don't play no D on nobody. His defensive rating tells you that. My gosh. But yeah, team defense counts for a lot. Like I said, when you're at the bottom on fast break points, 28, you're 28th in the league in fast break points. You're 26th in blocks. You're 25th in points in the paint, giving up, averaging 53 or more points a game. You can't win a lot of games unless everything else goes, unless you're scoring 130 points a game, which we weren't. We were scoring 118 and giving up 120 plus. If we were scoring 125 points a game, we win 45 plus games then, because we could outscore some people. We lost 21 games by 7 points or less. Every game I've reviewed, I make sure I bring that back up. We lost 21 plus games by 7 points or less. You can't give up 18 threes in a game and expect to win. 23 threes in a game and expect to win. 52% from 3 and expect to win. 42% in an elimination game from 3 and expect to win. Give up 72 points in the paint. The Chicago Bulls scored 72 points in the paint against the Atlanta Hawks. Can't win like that. It's impossible. And shoot 42% from 3? It's impossible to do that. We couldn't stop Vucevic from scoring 24 points. If you just did that, we win the game. You couldn't stop White from scoring 42 points. Somebody didn't have no pride to say, I'm stopping Kobe White. Or better yet, let's double team freaking Kobe White, because he's the only one hurting us. Who cares about DeRozan? Who cares about Vucevic? Because guess what? All of our starting lineup had 20 points apiece in that game, except for Hunter, who had 8 points and 2 boards in the elimination game, which nobody cares about. But if we had just stopped Vucevic from scoring 24 and make him score 12 maybe, or just stop White from scoring 42 and let him score, I don't know, 22. Because in the Bulls game that we beat the Bulls, he scored 22. So how did he score 20 more points? Go watch the game on Around the ATL on IMTM Worldwide Radio. Go watch. I show you how. A lot of layups, a lot of wide open jumpers too. You got to want to stop your player. You got to want to do that. You got to, and if you don't have that in you, that's a problem. And that's where there has to be a change somewhere. It can't be an expectation that your 6'1" guard is supposed to stop the 7-foot center and a 6'11" power forward that's like Giannis Antetokounmpo, the small forward and the shooting guard on the other team. That's not his job to do that. That's why you have 5-on-5. You see what I'm saying? My goodness. Again, Trae Young ain't the best defender, but he's by far not the worst defender on the team. Everybody has to do their jobs, and some have to do their jobs better than others because it's the expectation. You can't be drafted 4th defensive player of the year in college and the ACC and then never be on the first or second team all defense. That's crazy to me. 5 seasons and not play 70 games in the season ever? That's too much. That's too much, which is why he needs to be on the bench the rest of his career as a Hawk. If Bogey and Hunter are coming off the bench and scoring 25 points a game, give or take, solid. Just need a little bit from Kobe, a little bit of dash from Muhammad Gay, Kumo G. And if Clint is still here, Clint coming off the bench, fine. Let Clint concentrate on getting boards. He could be a help defender on the second team. And then you play lineups, matchups with the other players that we picked up. The Roddy, where are they at? Let me see if I can find them real quick. I played their tape before. David Roddy the Body, they call him. Dominic Barlow and oh gosh, who's the other guy? The other two-way guard. I can't remember his name. Starts with an S, I think. Seaton, I think it is. But they give you some things where, one, they can rotate better. They got length as well. Again, we've been one of the shortest teams for a long time. Just having that is going to give you some differences in the paint. The points in the paint should go down a little bit this year. We shouldn't be 25th in points in the paint given up this year. I just believe that, okay? I just got to. We're not going to be 28th in fast break points this year. I don't think so. I hope not. Hopefully, we're not 26 in blocks this year. I hope not. But if anything, we got to score more points. It's either one or the other, and that's why, again, I say Clint can't start because he can't help you score no more points. 10, 11 points a game ain't going to cut it when all the other bigs can get you 15, 16, 17, 18 or more a game. They can hit a jumper. You got to guard them, and Clint don't like coming out that paint. That Denver game, he just lets people hit threes. Just watches it go up. The first shot of the game is a three by Joker. The first shot of the third quarter in that Denver game is a three-pointer by Joker. And Clint gave both of them up. Bam hit a couple of threes on Clint in that Heat game, along with others. That Charlotte game, Grant Williams couldn't be stopped. Couldn't be stopped. Grant Williams. Something has to change in the evolution of the effort, as Chris says, the makeup, the usage, all those things have to match up with these other teams in the league. Again, the Hawks should have beat the Boston Celtics the 2022 season for the playoffs. We should have beat them. We had them beat. Trae Young was killing them. Couldn't be stopped. DJ was doing his job scoring until Game 5. He was suspended. We just needed someone to stop Tatum from scoring 27 points a game and Brown scoring 22. We would have beat them. Not that far away. So that's why I said Dyson, that's a start. ZR starts, and we just have to hope he's the number one pick for a reason, right? We've seen the tape. We've seen everything. Can he do what he do? You'll see. But if he can, he gives us length and he gives us another shot maker in there, along with JJ, and O finally gets to start. O can hit a jumper. He can finish in the paint. He has moves. He has touch, and he can hit his free throws. And he can play post defense. And he can rebound. He's shown that in his starting minutes over the years. He can kill you. Okay? So that starting lineup with Trae and Dyson and ZR and JJ and O gives you a competitive factor along with your bench with Kobe and Bogey and Hunter, Kumo G, and Clint, and or a mixture of Nance and these other players that we got. I think we're deeper than we were last year as well, because last year we weren't a deep team. Our injuries show what we were. We were not a good team. We were worse than the team before that year because we didn't do anything to replace anybody. We didn't do anything. I've shown that plenty of times. I went in the show that I did before, I went through our 6 years of rosters. I named everybody. This is the roster. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. I gave y'all everybody who's on those rosters. I broke it down to y'all. This is what we had to work with. But look at what everybody else did in the league these last 6 years. Cavs made the finals. Bucks made the finals and won. Toronto made the finals and won. Boston went to 2 finals, won one of them. Heat been to 2 finals, didn't win, but they won the Eastern Conference twice. It's more than the Hawks have done in these 6 years, right? What have the Hawks done comparatively to everybody else? We got to do more, just like the Falcons have been doing. Falcons have been doing what in 3 years what the Hawks should have been doing for 6. Improving, getting better, doing stuff. But like Chris said, effort, the skill, the coaching, all of it is intertwined. If you can't make the changes from the bench and adjust, we got to switch out some players. We got to get some people who want to play defense. Dyson Daniels is about to be 21 years old. He was averaging a steal and a half last year off the bench. He wants to play defense. You got to have that in you. You see what I'm saying? You got to want to stop your guy. That's good. You see what I'm saying? But you still need the coaching part. You still need to know where you're supposed to be and the why, the rotations, how to play doggone zone defense. Go watch that Denver game I reviewed. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Double teaming people. There's no reason, and this is why I'm going to do, and again, I'm going to get to that game eventually. Luka should have got 73 points. We don't know how to double team nobody. We don't want to double team nobody. We're just going to let somebody score 80? That's embarrassing. 50 points by Malachi Flynn? I'm going to be mad when I go over that game. I haven't done it yet. I've seen some of it, but I haven't done the whole game yet. But I already know I'm going to be mad. My blood pressure is going to go up because I'm going to just be trying. He averaged 5 points a game. He dropped 50 on us. How? Nobody got no pride? When I play basketball, once we figure out that somebody's hitting all the shots on the other team, we either are switching someone better on defense on that person, or we're doubling that person and making somebody else beat us. We never let the best scorer on the other team beat us. That don't make no sense to happen because you know it's going to happen. Don't that make sense? You can't let Steph Curry beat you when nobody else was hitting shots in the Olympics. You got a hard double. You can't pretend to double. You can't. They're playing swag surfing out here now. I don't want to start swag surfing with the people out there. Rooftop is over here getting crunk, raw. But, oh, yeah, that's what the Hawks be doing. Be swag surfing, right? We want to do that more than we want to. Anyway. So let me get out of here, y'all. It's midnight. I didn't mean to be on here for 2 hours, but I saw, Chris came on, a couple of people wanted to comment a little bit, so I want to make sure I answered all those. But again, if we're not going to get a bench coach that's going to help on defense, if we're not going to get a big man coach to help the bigs on our team be better at their job, because everybody has a job, we have to get better players to do those jobs. And I think we've done that to an extent. Maybe not the best players in the world that we think, but sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you just got to get somebody who's really good at that one skill. See, a lot of these other teams in the league, they got some really good skill players, either in the starting lineup or off the bench, right? Who's going to be Clint could be our Dennis Rodman. Get all the rebounds, Clint. Don't ever worry about scoring because you can't. Don't worry about that. We got other people who can do that. Because when you get the ball, all you're going to do is pass it back out or do something crazy and turn the ball over. Just get the rebound and pass it back out to your point guard, and we reset. Get every rebound, though. You see what I'm saying? Who's our help defender? Somebody coming in the paint, nobody should be getting no layups. This is a no layup lane. Elbow. Come on in here if you want to. You see what I'm saying? Deter the shot. We don't have enough shot deterrers. The length is going to help, but you still got to want to do it. I showed y'all a clip where you got somebody blocking out a man before the shot goes up instead of coming up and defending the shot. That's embarrassing, y'all. You got to be taught. You got to be retaught. You got to be taught. You got to be retaught. And then you got to be disciplined, because if you ain't going to do it, you can't be on the floor. Got to bench you for 10 minutes. You ain't going to stay with your man? Oh, you can't be in the game. We got enough people. Come on, Vic. Come on, Garrison. Come on, Kobe. Come on, Roddy the Body. Come elbow some people for us. You got some players that can do some stuff, I think, now. And I think we're going to enjoy this season. I still think a move could be made. I mean, shoot. Terry F. waited to the very bare bones of the offseason to make some moves. So, I mean, the Hawks still could, do a little dibble-dabble. I've seen some other trade prospects out there a little bit, that could work or whatever. So you never know. But I think, again, just switching Bogey, not switching Bogey, but keeping Bogey on the bench. Let him get his 15, 17 points off the bench. Keeping Hunter on the bench, get his 14, 15 points or whatever. Keeping Clint on the bench, putting Clint on the bench and starting O. You see what I'm saying? You got to do it because at least with O, you got to guard O at top. You got to all of a sudden guard somebody who hasn't been guarded for a long time. Nobody has to guard Clint on the floor. But now all of a sudden you got to do that. That takes somebody out the paint on their end, don't it? You see how that works? That's pretty cool, right? And O can actually hit the shot. He can keep you honest. He's shown that. He's a 30% three-point shooter. That's all you need. I don't need him to be 40%. But if he's 30, 32%, everything else will work out for itself. So let me get out of here, y'all. Again, thanks for those who did get to watch after the fact. If you do go back, please watch it. Share it with one person who likes Hawks talk or whatnot. Thanks to everybody who was on the different Facebook pages I mentioned earlier, or on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you ended up watching it from. Again, stay tuned for game number 76 against the Detroit Pistons, where Malachi Flynn dropped 50 points on the Hawks. Make sure you do follow on Facebook or Twitter. Facebook and Instagram. There it is right there. IMTM Worldwide Radio. You can follow me on Twitter, Intellect ATL, my co-host Jordan Jackson, Jordan23 ATL. Remember, keep Jordan in your prayers and your thoughts. His mom has cancer. So again, a lot of stuff is going on, which is why I'm on primarily by myself right now. I'm gonna keep holding it down until he does return. In the meantime, but definitely keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Cancer is just messed up, man. I lost my father with cancer. I lost a lot of my family members with cancer, immediate family members from cancer over the last decade. So it's been real tough, just family-wise and personal-wise for a lot of people. But we're still here, we're still going. So I appreciate the support up till now. That being said, let me get out of here. Y'all take care. Peace.